September 2020. In December 2020 would be 2 years since we restarted our waterslide bounce house inflatable delivery business. We were in business for 7 years, and I ended up having back problems, couldn't do it anymore, was in bed for like 3 months, and while in bed I started paying a lot of attention to the internet, started earning money online, started earning a lot to the point where we decided to take a break. Actually, we decided to quit the bounce house business. And well, first we said we're gonna quit, but then we figured we're gonna take a break, move somewhere else to a different place, settle down and start the business again. So we took about a year and a half off, and then we ended up where we are now, and started the business again in a new city. So also what happened was all the money we earned from the internet started to fade away. You know, we were reaching a point where we weren't earning that much anymore from the internet, and we needed the business in order to, you know, continue for paying the bills and all that. So when we first built the business, we used PayPal credit to put stuff on credit because PayPal credit gives you 6 months to pay it off. So after 7 years, we ended up having around 18 units, and then we sold all of them, and everything. We sold everything. So just restart the business, we had nothing, and I still had the PayPal credit. So I had $5,000 in credit. So we started off by getting 2 units. We got a water slide and a combo. And the plan was that we would rent them out, use the money we earned to pay them off, and then before 6 months, so I wouldn't have to pay interest, and then buy 2 more. And pretty much that's how it went. It didn't go exactly that way because I had calculated, well, if I give myself 10 weeks, it's $250 a week, and then would have $5,000 again and buy 2 more, and just keep accumulating to the point where we have enough units to pay the bills, you know. And so we kept doing that, and you know, it wasn't possible to stick to a plan to say $250 a week because, you know, life is like a roller coaster, man. So there was one time where we did end up paying some interest, but you know, once you get more and more units, once you have about 8 of them, then it gets easier because the more of them you have, of course, is the more you earn. So paying off the $5,000 become easier and easier. So now we have 14 units after 2 years, and that's enough. I think we're gonna probably end up getting 4 more, but I don't see us needing any more than that, or, you know, yeah, I mean, 4 more would be like more than enough, basically, for the amount of space. We have enough space for 4 more, and we can handle it as far as dealing with customers and orders and stuff. So yeah, I just finished paying off the last 2 we bought actually earlier this year. I think back in May, purchased 2, a water slide and a combo, and I just finished paying that off. So it feels good to have all the units. No, we don't owe anything, and we have a good customer base. Now, most of the business, as far as success of this business, is not about having a lot of units, it's about having a good customer base. So 50% of the business success is related to the customer base. 30% is having the units and, you know, having good units and taking care of them. And the other 20% is the labor. There's also the vehicle, but we have a pretty good vehicle. So for some reason, I always forget to include the vehicle into the whole calculation as far as what it costs to have a business like this. But we bought a brand new vehicle, you know, that way we would get the warranty, and we have, you know, given it to Ford a couple of times already for them to fix. So, we have a car payment, a big car payment. And there were times when the car payment was just like, man, this is a big car payment, but we need it for the business, right? So I would think that if we didn't have this business, we wouldn't have the vehicle that we have. Most likely we'd have some type of used car that we own. So if I'm gonna factor in the vehicle into the business, that is actually the most expensive thing, is the vehicle to transport the bounce houses, right? Because the vehicle costs more than all these units, right? And yeah. So I would think the most expensive thing is the actual vehicle. And if it's an old vehicle, then of course maintenance comes into play and all that. But we are before, when we did it for 7 years, we went through about 4 different used cars until we reached we bought one with a payment. So it's like we were doing it with vehicles that we owned, right? But those vehicles break down, it becomes a problem. So once we got something that's new enough to get a car payment, then we didn't have that problem with it breaking down anymore. So one thing that is like, if we don't own the car, which is like the vehicle we have now is like $50,000. If we can't buy that cash, which we can't, then we have the car payment, So, and I look at it like the car payment is just going to be a part of the business. And it's the one thing that we are not going to get rid of, So right now, for instance, we don't need to spend on advertising because we have enough customers, for repeat customers. We do spend on advertising, on Facebook advertising, because it really works really good. And we have a Facebook page, so we want to always build up our Facebook page, and we put all our content on the Facebook page and our videos and stuff. So, Facebook is also attached to Instagram. So because we publish on Facebook and we publish on Instagram, it makes sense to promote them so we can grow them, and it's all just local promotion. Because of Facebook, I think we're able to now not go very far away from our location. Our deliveries are always close to us now because we have enough customers close to us, and because we're using Facebook, and it's just like Facebook would always market us to people who are close to where we are. So that's what Facebook marketing is good for. The first year we spent a lot of money on Google and Facebook. Google, I don't think it's worth it. Google is worth it if you're building the business to gain customers, right? But you have to spend a lot more than you get back. But what you do get back is customers that you can have now repeat and also refer. So getting customers who will repeat and refer is what Google search is for, in my opinion. And maintaining a customer base is what Facebook is for, right? So this year we haven't advertised with Google search because we have enough customers that they're repeating and they're referring others. And so we just spend on Facebook advertising, even though we don't have to, we don't need to, we still do because it's worth it. So when we started out, we were going very far away, hour and 20 minutes away to do deliveries. And as time progressed, we come closer and closer in. And what's good about that is we don't have to get on the highway that much anymore. It's been a long time since I've been on the highway, like the busy highway, where you feel like your life is on the line. You know what I mean? So avoiding getting into that, because it's all like statistics, right? I mean, we've had a couple of times on the highway. One time in particular where it could have been really bad, but it didn't end up bad. Yeah, but a couple of times where things happen on the highway, whereas man, that was like my life flash in front of my eyes, or someone else's life flash in front of my eyes, based on something that happened. So staying off the highway is like a goal that we've actually achieved, because our deliveries that we go to now, we can get there without getting on the highway. Avoiding the tolls, that's another thing. Toll can add up over time. So getting deliveries that are close, avoid the highway, avoid the tolls. We reach that point, and that feels good. So 2 years And we recently hired an employee, so we have help now who always goes out with us. And so that's good. Um, I'm looking forward to the next 2 years, man. The only thing I see is, 2 years from now, we'll have double whatever we have now. We'll have two vehicles, two trailers, 40 units, and double the amount of customers. So, yeah, I mean, that's how I see it. And it's great, man. The numbers, let's talk numbers. So we have 14 units. I estimate that we spent about $30,000 to acquire them. Figure $5,000 in shipping, because we acquired them like two at a time. I think there was one time where we purchased three. There was one time where we purchased three because it was like two big units and one small unit. So $30,000, 14 units, $5,000 in shipping. If we were to sell all of them right now, we can probably sell them within a couple of weeks and earn about $20,000. So that's the equity as far as the value, because these units, we've actually already sold two. We sold two, or was it one of them? We only sold one, right? Yeah, we sold one already, not two. And what other numbers? So that's that numbers. As far as like bookings, we've been getting, because of COVID, we've been getting bookings all year long, weekday, weekend. It's been really, the business has been going, it's been really fruitful. Last year there was a lot of times where it was really slow, or we didn't, because we're just starting out, of course, and there were times where it was really slow, or there were weekends that we didn't have any bookings, or we only have one booking. This year, I don't know. I mean, I would say we average 7 to 10 a week, and a slow week would be 5, right? We average around $200 per delivery. So, it's a pretty good business. I mean, all the money we earn is used to pay the bills, pay the rent, buy food. We don't save anything. I don't think we will be able to save anything until, let's say, we have, like I said, 2 years from now, when we have double the amount of units, and we have to double up in order to be able to save. But our goal is to make sure we have enough to pay the bills. And yeah, it's about it. It's about living for the day